serving up Texas' hottest original acts. The all-you-can-eat Texas Music Cafe boldly goes where commercial radio and television fear to tread. So kick up your heels for another exciting episode from the all-you-can-eat Texas Music Cafe.
Hi, welcome. Live from Waco, Texas, we'd like to introduce the fifth of our series for Women's Singer-Songwriter Night. Texas Music Cafe is so proud to welcome you ladies. Welcome and enjoy the evening. Thank you.
Good evening, Waco, Texas. How are we all doing? Janie Dale's doing great. Well, if I may speak on behalf of all of us, I know how excited we've been for this show and how honored we are to be a part of this series during Women's History Month, honoring Texas women songwriters. So Texas Music Cafe, can we actually give another round of applause for y'all and the work that you're doing to give us this platform? And it takes an army, I know, to put this on. So we're all just very excited to be playing, and you women are so talented, so it's going to be a fun night. My name is Sarah Johnson. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. If you don't mind me saying, I now hail from Nashville, Tennessee, but I'm claiming both states, so Texas and Tennessee. But I'm going to kick off the evening tonight. You don't necessarily have to raise your hand, but did any fine couples out here meet at a bar? This is a song about that. Or if you would like to meet anyone at a bar, you can use these lines. Hey there, dark and handsome, you're just the man I wanted to see. Why don't you come on over, give this girl some company. The lights are turned down low, my confidence is high. Could you be the one I came to meet here tonight? Looking for someone. Have I been looking for you? Looking for you. Yeah, I've been waiting on someone. Have I been waiting on you? Waiting on you. You walked in my direction. I tried to keep my cool. Talking turned to dancing. Boy, I wanna be with you. The drinks are getting low, my spirit's getting high. Do you wanna see where we can take this tonight? I've been looking for someone. Have I been looking for you? Looking for you. Yeah, I've been waiting on someone. Have I been waiting on you? Waiting on you. Is this for real or is this for fun? Is this just for tonight? Is that enough? I've been looking for someone. Have I been looking for you? Have I been looking for you? Have I been looking for you? Oh, you spun me around the room till the lights turn on at 2. Boy, you make it hard for me to keep my rules. I've been looking for someone. Have I been looking for you? Looking for you. Yeah, I've been waiting on someone. Have I been waiting on you? Waiting on you. Oh, I've been looking for someone. Have I been looking for you? Thank you.
Awesome. So I was told before the show started that they want this to be interactive, so I'm going to kind of facilitate that. Why did you go to Nashville?
It was a very big decision. I love Texas, and I love the music scene that we have here. And it's it's one of the most amazing things in the world. And it was that little gnawing question of, if I don't try, will I always regret it? And I just kind of figured, in the whole span of my music career, if I don't spend a little time in Nashville, I'll never know what it was like. And the songwriting community there is very collaborative, which I think Texas could learn a little bit from. I mean, co-writing is every day. It's just very much in the spirit of it. And when I say I don't do a lot of co-writes, they're like, or I didn't do one before, they're like, oh, that's very Texas of you, because we're very independent.
Well, sure, but to be fair, do you think we're so far apart? It's not.
I think
easy
it's a
to,
distance
get
thing.
together?
I absolutely do. And so,
I'm gonna defend Texas
even
here. I'm like,
oh
this
no,
is Texas.
I no, believe me, I'm not here to knock on Texas. I love Texas. My favorite artists are from here, and so it has been a good learning experience to have that. Oh, but I will go to bat for Texas any day. Don't worry about that. I've still got those roots. I still have my Texas plates. So all that goes to say is, I just new experience, but I'm always so happy to come back, and Texas will always be home.
Yeah, well, I think you gotta take those chances while you can, so you don't have any regrets, right? So I totally get that. I also don't do a lot of co-writing, but I'm hoping to change that. I live in Lubbock though, so I'm very far away from everything. So I'm really glad to be here today. My name is Jenny Dale Lord, and to answer your question that you posed to the audience at the start, I don't think I've ever not met somebody in a bar. Like, being a musician, I can pretty much tell you, unless you are related to me, I know you because I met you in a bar.
I love that.
So here's a song about meeting someone in a bar as well. And it's a song about my very favorite thing in the world, free whiskey. When you walked in the room, they all walked out. I was the only fool sticking around. I should have known right then and there that it was trouble coming towards my chair, but I never want to turn free whiskey down. You came up and asked me for a light, asked me if I came alone tonight. Said, bartender, can you help me please? Won't you get this lady what she needs? And I never want to turn free whiskey down. Free whiskey, free whiskey. That's what is to blame for all this misery. You tricked me, it's a mystery how I'm hooked on you, just like I'm hooked on whiskey. Well, it didn't take too long to throw me out. Just another girl that you can brag about. All your buddies, they can hear you boast about another notch in your bedpost. 'Cause I never want to turn free whiskey down. No, no, no. Free whiskey, free whiskey. That's what is to blame for all this misery. You tricked me, it's a mystery how I'm hooked on you, just like I'm hooked on whiskey. Free whiskey. Damn, this thirst of mine and how it kicks me. You tricked me, but oh, then you kissed me. So now I'm hooked on you, just like I'm hooked on whiskey. Now I'm hooked on you, just like I'm hooked on whiskey. Now I'm hooked on you, just whiskey. Thank you.
That was so nice.
Thank you.
Well, thank you to Texasmusiccafe for having us out. My name is Star Aslan, and you girls sounded amazing. Speaking of what Sarah was talking about down there and co-writing and going to Nashville, I'm a Texas girl. I'm from San Marcos Way, live in Martindale. But I spent some time in Nashville and did some of the co-writing and writers' rooms there, and got the opportunity to write with a very special lady named Pam Tillis. And so we wrote a song together, and she's just the sweetest thing in the world. And we got in the room, and she said, "Well, Star, honey, what would you like to write about today?" In her little accent, she's so sweet. And I was just kind of, a little nervous and like, "All right, whatever you want to write about, Pam." But I said, "You know what? I'd love to take you through my side of town and just kind of get." I would like you to kind of get to know me through my music and through my song. And so I started kind of listing things that were important to me in San Marcos, and that's Cheatham Street Warehouse. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that place, but it's a legendary place where a lot of people got their start. George Strait, Stevie Ray, Randy Rogers, and Kent Finley, the owner, opened the doors for me there as well. So you'll hear a little bit about Cheatham Street in this song. And then there's a great Mexican food place there. You got to have Tex-Mex when you're in Texas, of course. Herbert's Taco Hut is there. So there's a little bit of all the kind of stuff that I love in there. And so this is a song called My Side of Town. Baby, you're spending all this money, you've gone through all this trouble to show me a good time. And it's lovely, maybe just a little stuffy. Oh, but don't call the waiter, there's nothing wrong with this wine. On second thought, la cuenta, por favor. Oh, let's not mess around, throw your credit card down and head straight for the door to my side of town. There's a party that's waiting. If you go with me, you'll see things you won't see if you went on your own. On my side of town, I'll explain what they're saying, and we'll chase the night with tequila and lime on my side of town. Baby, throw me the car keys, I'm hijacking this evening, I'll do the driving, hang on for the ride. There's a good band down at Cheatham Street Warehouse. Oh, and they just play louder each time a freight train rolls by. There's a spot on the hill we can watch the sunrise. Baby, this is your chance to watch bluebonnets dancing the new morning light. On my side of town, there's a party that's waiting. If you go with me, you'll see things you won't see if you went on your own. On my side of town, I'll explain what they're saying, and we'll chase the night with tequila and lime on my side of town. Grab a bite at Herbert's Taco
walk down to the river Blanco. I'll take you around to meet my good friends. Don't you worry, you'll fit right in on my side of town. On my side of town, I'll explain what they're saying, and we'll chase the night with tequila and lime on my side of town. Baby, we'll chase the night with tequila and lime on my side of town. Thank you.
I love the Spanish feel, though. Even before you went into the Spanish, I was like, ooh, that sounds Spanish. So then you went into Spanish, I was like, yes.
Thank you. I like to throw a little bit in there every now and then.
So I officially want to get free whiskey with you and see your side of town.
Well,
So
Yes.
and with the tequila, right?
Whiskey
I was
here
like,
and
I
tequila.
know.
Yeah, whiskey and tequila.
I wish I had a song about vodka or something. You know,
Is that your drink of choice is vodka?
No, actually, it's not. I just was trying to round us out there.
I always like to say I'm an equal opportunity drinker. You know, if it tastes good,
Yeah, if it's free, you know.
free. That's exactly right. That's
Yeah.
the best.
Exactly. So this is a song that I actually made up the title. I made up a word for the title. I was thinking about life as a musician and some of the highs and lows of it. And one of them being sometimes just the financial part of it. And I realized that if I'm doing what I love and I'm surrounded by people that love me and I love them, I'm truly wealthy and rich on love. And that's really all that matters. So that's what this song is about. What kind of girl do you think I am? Don't need no diamonds dripping from my hand. Found me a fine, good-hearted man. We'll live on love and the seeds we plant. They can have their mansions and their 401ks, 'cause we've got millions in a different way. If all I have is you, I'll be the richest girl in the room. Your heart of gold is all I need. Got the winning ticket to the lottery. If I had a penny for every kiss, it'd be a full-time job with benefits. They can have their things, I don't care. Baby, we'll be lovers. We don't have much, but we've got everything. That empty living room is perfect for dancing. We don't have that Mercedes Benz, but you take me from 0 to 60 in less than 10. They can have their jets and their ocean views, 'cause I'm getting lost in those baby blues. If all I have is you, I'll be the richest girl in the room. Your heart of gold is all I need. Got the winning ticket to the lottery. If I had a penny for every kiss, it'd be a full-time job with benefits. They can have their things, I don't care. Baby, we'll be lovers. If this love and it I'll be the richest girl in the room. Your heart of gold is all I need. Got the winning ticket to the lottery. If I had a penny for every kiss, it'd be a full-time job with benefits. They can have their things, I don't care. Baby, we'll be lovers. Baby, I don't care. We'll be lovers. Thank y'all. That song is called Love and Airs. And I'm sorry, I do have to give a shout out to my co-writer who is in Texas, Katrina Kane out of Austin. So she's amazing, but I have to give her a shout out when I sing that.
Look, see, you do co-write.
I do co-write.
Oh, see, she was all, I don't co-write. Yes, you do.
I know, well, that I got stuck. I had the Love and Airs, and I had a couple of things, and I just could not take that song home. And so that's the beauty of co-writing, but that was one of my first ones when I was like, I can't do this on my own. I've got to reach out for help, and it was such a great experience because we wrote that song. So that was kind of my gateway song into realizing the beauty of co-writing.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
So good.
I was thinking, like, it takes a special person to be in a relationship with a musician. Like, we got to meet your husband and your son, and it's just so amazing because relationships are very difficult when you're a traveling musician. Like, I've been home one day total in like the last several weeks, you know. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for the world, you know,
Yeah.
because I've had other jobs. And I've not liked any of them as much as I've liked this
No,
one.
you gotta do what you love, and it's definitely worth it.
I'm gonna talk about one of the things I love about the song swaps is you're kind of inspired to play based on what the person before you played, right? So you're talking about the music business and like how it feels to be poor and all this stuff, but love will get us where we're going. And I'm gonna come at that from a different angle. This is the title track to my latest album. I just put out my 8th album this past October. Thank you. I put out my first album when I was 4, so you can do the math, yeah. But the thing I've learned most about being in the music business when it comes to love and life is that we have to make choices. And do you make the right choices? I don't know. It remains to be seen. But we definitely miss out on some things, and we gain some things here. And so I was reflecting on that when I wrote this next song. It's 100% true. So I call it my autobiography. And it's called A Million Moments. I knew there'd be hard choices and that I'd make sacrifices. Birthdays all came and went, and I wasn't there for them again. But I'd seen the bigger picture, and that's all that really mattered. Like that Christmas and that New Year, I was out there on the road, and out of nowhere my sweet daddy died before I ever made it home. So I never got to tell him just how much I really loved him. I could list a million moments, and I'm sure a million more, where I wonder if what I gave up is worth what I've been working for. There's a million different moments. If I knew then what I know now. But I can't change a single little moment, much less a million anyhow. After all those years of trying, my baby brother said to me, I finally get my baby girl, gonna start a family. And of course he started laughing, 'cause of course I started crying. I'd never bring myself to tell him something I can't tell myself, that there's a hole down deep inside of me that it's too damn late to try to feel, because a woman only gets so long before the chance is dead and gone. I could list a million moments, and I'm sure a million more, where I wonder if what I gave up is worth what I've been waiting for. There's a million different moments. If I knew then what I know now, still I can't change a single little moment, much less a million anyhow. There's at least a million moments. If I knew then what I know now. Well, I knew there'd be hard choices, and that I'd make sacrifices. Memories, they all came and went, and I wasn't there for them again. But I'd seen the bigger picture, and that's all that really mattered. Thank you. I'm sorry to bring out sad songs, but they're my favorite.
They're also my favorite. I'm definitely a deep cut kind of songwriter and girl, so you'll rarely hear me playing like an upbeat song, which is my goal this year. I need to play write more upbeat songs. So if y'all are up for it and y'all want to co-write a little fast one, let's get together and do it. But that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Has anyone ever been to Terlingua? Yep, I got a lot of hands up. Have y'all been to Terlingua before?
Not, no.
It's on the list.
Oh,
It's on the list.
Okay, you have to go. It's one of the most beautiful places. You guys would agree, and the stars go on forever. And their mayor is a goat, which that's a totally different song. I won't be singing about that tonight. But Terlingua did inspire me to write a song, and it's such a beautiful place. And me and my family, we go there a lot, but. This is one that I wrote about just losing the love of your life. It is a sad one, but it's losing the love of your life, but always knowing that, you know, when you come back to this place, you'll find them again in some way. You'll feel them and you'll know they're there. So this one's called Terlingua.
We're two different people when we sleep under these stars. Maybe we should stay a little longer. No, we wish things could have worked out different. Just hold me underneath this big black sky one last time. You're the only place that I can feel his love. Terlingua, come on, take me back to when he was the one. 'Cause it's been too long and I miss us way back then. Terlingua, bring me back to him. Something in the desert sun that draws me to your heart. Don't know why they say that absence makes it fonder. As long as that old teal grows, that cactus flower blooms in shades of gold, I'll be yours. take me back to when he was the one. 'Cause it's been too long and I miss us way back then. Too late, bring me back to him. And I know when I come back someday, when I'm over you, my hair is gray, I'll find someone better that won't matter. 'Cause the wind will blow and that's when I'll know. To Linwood, you're the only place that I can feel his love. To Linwood, come on, take me back to when he was the one. 'Cause it's been too long and I miss us way back then. Oh, what I'd do to see his face again. Too late, bring me back to him. Thank you.
I love that. And like you said, the fun of these writers' rounds is kind of like, what are you going to play next? And then you get inspired by what y'all are singing too. So this is kind of ties into, you know, road life and having a spot that makes you think of someone.
Yeah.
But I wrote this. I tend to fall for musicians. And the hardest part is when we're both on tour. So you might meet them and then they go on their way and you go on yours. And if your schedules line up, you might see them again. And in this case, I did see him again. And that's what this is about. You should be here right now. TV's on and house is cold. You should be here right now, but you're out there on the road. When you get to where you're going, if you have the chance to breathe, I hope your mind takes you back to that night in Tennessee. Oh, ooh, that girl in Tennessee. I could be there right now, watching from the cheap seats. We could be there right now, oh, chasing our dreams. When you get to where you're going, if you have a chance to breathe, I hope your mind takes you back to that night in Tennessee. Oh, ooh, that girl in Tennessee. When you get to where you're going, if you have a chance to breathe, I hope your mind takes you back to that night in Tennessee. Oh, that girl in Tennessee. Thank you.
So I'm curious to know who some of your influences are, because you've got this like poppy thing going on. So I'm just curious, like who do you love?
Yes, and it's so funny that you recognize that, because my dad's from St. Louis, and then my mom is a Texan, but raised by Northwest parents. And so I did not grow up on country music. I'm so sorry. It's like this new love, but I grew up on pop. So I grew up on like the classic rock and Beach Boys, Elvis. Then kind of Amy Grant was huge in my house. So just like those simple melodies that are so great. Yeah. And then I have more of like a worship faith background as far as learning guitar and doing that, and that was my start, was in the church. And so, you know, those just very simple songs that the congregation can sing. That's how I learned to do music. So most of my things are very like easy to catch on to lyrics.
I don't think anyone should ever apologizing for loving more than country, because as a music lover, I think you should love all the music.
I love all genres.
Exactly.
And just because she's on my right side, I don't want you to be left out. So you've got this
fine.
really classic country mixed with a little bit of Spanish thing going on that I absolutely love. So who are some of your influences?
Yeah, no, I definitely, classic country is the music that I grew up on. When I remember first like hearing like my first country song, it was Crazy by Patsy Cline. I was walking down the street and I heard a girl singing it, and I was like, oh, what is that? I have to sing that song. And I had just started singing at the time. I was like 12 years old. It's like, I have to sing that song. I have to get my hands on it. And it turned out to be written by Willie Nelson, sang by Patsy Cline. And after that, like my dad just started buying me all the records and the entire like Patsy Cline collection. And I got into Hank and Merle, and so definitely Tammy, Tanya, all the legends, all the greats of country music and outlaw country. So I love that. But then, of course, like I also have a background in mariachi music. And so I love that, and that like runs through my veins as well. And so I have a lot of influences there. But also, I mean, I love 90s country. I love all music. I love blues, Etta James, Aretha. What about you?
So yes, okay. So you actually just listed one of my biggest influences, Etta James.
Oh my gosh.
In fact, so I love the blues. In fact, I made the kind of joke when we did the sound check. I was going to be the little bit of rock and roll smashed in the middle of like a country sandwich, which I'm really okay with. I love country music. Reba McEntire is probably like my biggest influence in the whole wide world. Yeah. But there's a woman named Ani DeFranco who really helped me kind of craft. Ani fan over there. Oh, I love you even more than I did before. She's a phenomenal guitar player, an insane songwriter, and so like I do these little percussive things that I stole from her. But then my other influence, like I love Barbra Streisand, so like I'm all over the map when it comes to music, which is why I try never to put myself in a box. I consider myself a songwriter first. Yes. So I may have a song that I'm like, God, I want Willie Nelson to sing that. I may have a song that I'm like, Reba needs to sing that. Then I'll have other things that I'm like, dang, rock and roll or blues or whatever, because I write songs more than I write genres.
And I think that's really important, like not putting yourself in a box. When someone asks, like, well, what is your genre? What do you do? And you're just like, I write songs, and whatever happens.
That's exactly right, because you serve the song.
Yeah,
I think is what you need to do first and foremost. There's an internet radio station called Real Texas Radio that their tagline is, "It's not country music, it's music country." And I'm like, I love that. Yeah. So this is title track to one of my albums, and I was inspired to play it based on your thing. You're over here tonight, and I'm over there tonight. And if you get a chance, call me. I'm thinking about you, because it's not easy to love a musician, and this song is about holding on, even when it might be easier to let go. But never let go. No denying I'm not perfect. No, no, no. No pretending that I'll ever be. But I think you'll find me worth it. Oh. Yeah, I've got what you need. So never let go. Never let go. Some days it's hard to love me. Oh, I know. But I thank God that you do. Cause when pushing comes to shoving, oh, I know I couldn't make it without you. So never let go when there's pain, when the sky is pouring rain. Never let go when it seems it'd be easier to leave. And never give up, never give in. It's a crazy love we're in, I know. But never let go. Never let go. Baby, when your arms surround me, oh, 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 and your hands, they touch my skin, I feel love has finally found me. Oh, 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 oh. Won't you hold me once again and never let go? Hold me tight, tell me everything's alright. Never let go when it seems it'd be easier to leave. And never give up, never give in. It's a crazy love we're in, I know. But never let go when there's pain, when the sky is pouring rain. Never let go when it seems it'd be easier to leave. And never give up, never give in. It's a crazy love we're in, I know. I know. But never let go. Never let go. Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I have this song is completely opposite. It's about letting go.
I see where you got the inspiration from.
Yeah.
It works out great.
This is one I actually just recorded at Arlen Studio. Have you guys ever been to Arlen Studio in Austin?
No.
Yeah, they're oh my gosh, they're some of the best, and the engineers there are great, and they just treat you like family. But this is one that I just recorded not too long ago called Adios Cowboy. And I think Willie Nelson said it best, you know, cowboys are harder to love, and cowboys ain't easy to love, and they're harder to hold. And so this song is called Adios Cowboy. It's about a cowboy that's hard to love, and it's just time to say adios.
You were made for white picket fences. You got a heart like a Mustang, and you break mine in two. You got a mouth like your old Smith & Wesson. It's got a hairpin trigger and it ain't scared to shoot. And just when I thought that I tore down your walls, you'll be gone. You love good, believe better. You'll take forever alone. Adios, cowboy. I gave you all of my sunsets and you lost them on an 8-second ride. Adios, cowboy. I ain't no kind of woman you could pick up and leave on a dime. Your body's in Texas, but your heart is in Reno. And there's a pretty gold buckle they're calling your name. You're a hard one to hold, boy. I just don't see no way of me winning this rodeo game. And just when you thought you'd be coming on home, I'll be gone. You've been fighting wild horses and chasing down the lonesome too long. Adios, cowboy. I gave you all of my sunsets and you lost them on an 8-second ride. Adios, cowboy. I ain't no kind of woman you could pick up and leave on a dime. Get along, little dog, your bones are all broken and bruised. Get along, little dog, your bones are all broken and bruised. Adios, cowboy. I gave you all of my sunsets and you lost them on an 8-second ride. Adios, cowboy. I ain't no kind of woman you could pick up and leave on a dime. Adios. Adios. You were made from white picket fences. You got a heart like a Mustang and you break mine in two. Thank you.
I love all the visual imagery y'all use in your songs. Like, that's one of my favorite things, is just seeing Heart Like a Mustang, or when you said that belt buckle is calling you, calling you. Oh, it's just so good. I love
you.
songwriting. This is
Thank
just the
you.
best. And thank y'all for loving songwriting too, enough to come and join us on stage. So thank you guys for giving us your time and supporting. Yes,
Yes, thank you.
that's it's a mutual thing here.
So I think this is actually a good time to maybe do a little Q&A, if that's okay, ladies. Does anyone in the audience have any questions that you'd like to ask? I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job tonight. I mean, just give them a round of applause, please. I mean, it's just so good. But anybody have any questions? I mean, now's your chance.
Can be about anything.
Well, not anything.
Yeah, almost.
You guys are really, really
Can't promise we'll
natural.
answer anything, but
You're really natural at just kind of,
No comment. Yeah.
yeah.
When you're stuck, what do you do to get unstuck?
That's a really good question. Do you?
Is the TV rolling? Because I don't think I could answer that properly. Are we taping? Yeah. I'll let you take that one.
Okay. Yeah, so when I am just stuck on something, I usually have to just move on, honestly. I mean, I don't know what y'all do, but I just have to kind of move on, because otherwise I'll be there like for hours just trying to think. And then you kind of like start overthinking it. But what I do typically is I'll keep it in my mind throughout the days, really, and it'll eventually come to me. So instead of me just sitting there kind of just harping on like, oh, am I ever going to get the next verse? I just kind of try to get inspired throughout the day and throughout the week, and, just kind of meditate on it, and hopefully it'll come to me. And it usually does, but I always have to keep coming back to it when I'm stuck.
This is gonna sound worse than I mean it to. I don't get stuck. I say that because like I'm not a great songwriter in the sense that I wake up and I go, I'm gonna write a song. I write a song going, I have this thing inside of me that needs to come out.
Yeah.
And if I'm not finished in 30 minutes, I'm done. Like, so I write a song in 30 minutes and that's it. I move on.
Wow.
When you said move on, that's
Yeah.
really great. I wish I were more disciplined. I wish I could be the kind of writer that just sits down and chooses to do that. But unfortunately I'm not, which is probably why I've only written one song in the last 6 months. So, yeah.
It's funny. I almost interpreted your question as like the feeling of being stuck in more like a writer's block when you don't have necessarily a ton of inspiration at the moment. So I might answer that in a different way almost than just the pure song. But I am always catching like things that people say or lyrics or noticing little things. So to kind of answer your song or your question in a different way about songwriting of being stuck, if there's ever a moment where I feel dry or writer's block, I have 50 million notes in my phone of all of these ideas that I've had from different years. I mean, years ago, days ago, whatever. So in terms of even just like those moments where you might feel stuck and that you're not writing anything, I always try to keep a really good record of those little moments that you think of or those visuals that you see where you're like, oh, that's cool. And I can always draw from just a kind of file of inspiration that I have in my phone, so I can always kind of get that to boost me out of feeling stuck or a writer's block or a dry spell. So that's kind of my interpretation of what you said, too.
If that's true, then I'm always stuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it'll take sometimes, like Adios Cowboy, I started it one day, and it took me like months to get to the second verse, so it's just, it could be like a long block or a short block, but you just never know, I guess.
Yeah, and then sometimes you might use like something that you thought would be for another song for that song, or just always kind of like drawing from those little ideas that you have.
Very nice. I've got Andrew here. He's got one for us as well.
Cool. Hey, y'all are all fantastic singers and guitar players, and you're talking about your songwriting process. So I was curious as to, do you normally start with guitar chords or melodies, or do you start with lyrics, or is it a combination, or what's your individual writing process?
Take it, Sarah.
Combo for me, but usually it does probably start with that little lyrical hook that inspires me to then create the melody. So, for instance, the Looking for Someone song, that was about a firefighter who also wrote mute songs and like met at a bar in Nashville, and it was like this amazing experience. And then so I like got home that night and I was like, I've been looking for someone like this. Like, was it him? And then I was like, oh, maybe that's a song. So it's like kind of being very aware of your thoughts and what you're thinking and having to be pretty in tune with your feelings, and then catching those little moments of inspiration. And then for me, I'm like, oh, that's a song. So it starts a little bit more lyrically, and then it motivates me to then like immediately try to think of a melody for it.
Yeah.
I agree. It usually does start with like that one little thing that makes you want to write a song. I will say that when it comes to writing a song, I'm very linear. Like, even to the point, if you're like, start the song over at the second verse, I have to go and get to the second verse. So it's the same way when I'm even writing a song. I start with the very first line and create a story all the way down. And so like once I have an idea of what I want the song to be about, I pull out the guitar and I go, okay, well, this is the story, and it's going to start at the beginning. Where's it going to go? How's it going to end? And I create both of the parts at the same time, top to bottom.
Yeah. I think for me, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I've done both. You know, where I have a lyric and a cool hook, and I'm just like, where can I go with this? But then other times, like for instance, Audio's Cowboy, like "You Weren't Made for White Picket Fences" was the very first line of that song, and that was the very first line that I wrote. And I didn't come up with the chorus until like months later, the Audio's Cowboy part. So. But I really liked that first line, like, you know, you were made for white picket fences. I thought that was just so cool, and I was debating, is this going to be the chorus or is this going to be a verse? And so that all just came together for me eventually. But there's been other times when, like you just write a song in 30 minutes, and it's just like you have this in your head, you know exactly what you want. It comes out. It's just like such a blessing when that happens for me. But so I think it's a little bit of both for me. But. Mm-hmm.
I have one more, if you guys, and then we'll get back to the music. So you may have alluded to this a little bit, you know, in your speakings before, but at what point did you realize your gift and that this is the real deal and this is your calling? So at what point in your life, or are you still trying to figure that out? Because obviously the talent's there, it's no question, but when was that for you, that aha moment?
I don't think I've had it yet. You know, and really, I was going to say that even before you said, are you still trying to figure that out? I'll be honest with you, like, so I've had other careers. I have a culinary degree. I used to be a chef by day, musician by night. And so I've had other jobs, I've done other things, and I've never loved anything more. But I would be lying to you if I told you anything other than I still question every single day if I'm doing the right thing. And not because of you know, anything in particular, but because I'm completely crippled with self-doubt 100%
It's
of the
that
time.
woman's, you know, executive dysfunction that we're just
I guess so.
ingrained
That's
in
like
us.
I'm going to leave here
Yeah.
tonight and be like, I hope they liked me. What if they didn't like me? And oh my God, I hope the girls liked me. And oh, I hope we take a picture. Oh wait, I don't know. So it's terrible and I hate it, but I'm being honest with you guys.
It's real, and that's what we do.
I don't know that I'll ever really feel like I've made it or I've made the right decision. I hope that I do, but I'm not quite there yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think those are definitely real feelings that like we all go through, because this business is not an easy business. It's tough, you know, and you got all eyes on you, and you know you're writing very personal things, and you're pouring your heart out at the same time, and everyone's listening, and so you wonder, like, did they like me? You know, so you always kind of have those thoughts, but I think for me, like, as far as knowing when I knew like this was what I wanted to do was I think I was about 12 years old or maybe 11 or 12. I got on stage for the first time and I just started singing a couple of songs. I told my dad I wanted to be a singer. I was writing poems and I just wanted to sing. And so I got up and I sang a bunch of Selena songs on stage at a festival, and people started giving me tips on stage, and I was like, yep, I think I'm going to do this. And you know, some people were crying, and they were like, you touched us so much. And I was like, wow, it's so cool how you can move somebody with your music, with your song, you know, just really touch someone. And I thought that was really cool. Like you can move somebody and change lives, and like maybe make someone feel better about themselves with your lyrics, or, you know, get them through hard times with your lyrics. And I just thought that was a cool place for me in this world. So at that point, I thought, I think this is what I want to do. I just been doing it ever since.
I love that. I resonate with what both of y'all are saying in many ways, but my mom says I wrote my first song at 2 years old, and I was sitting on the kitchen floor, and I just said, God watching over me, God watching over me. And she knew that I had not heard that from any of our kid song tapes or anything like that, and so that's when she says I wrote my first song. So I have always written music, and I now have this binder so thick of, you know, just that's what I was writing about to like get through all the awkward years of middle school and all of that. But I was incredibly stage fright, and I really, really struggled singing in front of anyone. So it definitely did not feel like a calling then, because I would just be terrified to be on stage. And I think one of the ways that kind of cracked that open for me was through the faith community, and kind of getting outside of myself, that this music isn't necessarily for me. I have a gift that I can help connect others to God, or, you know, with their faith. So that was kind of the cracking of the door into this realm, and not being stage fright anymore was essentially not making it about me. And then when I really started writing the songs that you're hearing today, I literally in the beginning called them like my boy songs. which sounds so juvenile, but that's how I categorize them because they weren't like worship songs. It's like my boy songs. And I didn't really think a lot about them. I just like was literally writing my diary. I mean, this is, y'all are hearing like my diary, and this is how I write music. So this was just the way that I processed makeups and breakups and meetups and all of that. And my friend offered to host a house show for me where I could share these songs. And I did, and I was really terrified again because it was a new genre for me to sing about my own personal life. And I think like what you said, like seeing people connect to the lyrics and they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that I felt that way until you sang that. And I didn't know that someone could put into words how I felt after that breakup or how I felt after meeting that person or what I was going through. And that made this genre of country Americana, again, like not about me. It was about that human connection and about me, putting words to someone's feelings or making them feel seen and understood by resonating with what I was saying. And so when I realized that and that clicked for me, then I was like, oh, I love this so much. And it's not about me at all. Like, this is about creating an experience for y'all. It's about sharing a gift. It's about bringing light and this into the world. Sorry, I've never been asked this before, so I'm verbally processing with you. But it was about 4 years ago when I stepped into this genre, and it was really through those house concerts and getting that feedback from people that my music meant something to them bigger than just listening to me sing. And I was like, okay, I want to keep doing that in this way. So that was a very long way of saying it's been a lifelong journey.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much for being real and sharing with us. I'll let you get back to it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank y'all for the questions.
Yeah, those are so good. I love this. It's like we're in a living room together. Yeah. So I'm going to sing a song that almost is like, it's a funny mix between like the keep holding on and letting go, because this is about when you have let go. But your heart and different parts of you are still hanging on, and you really wish that they wouldn't. And I'm really excited to say that this song is coming out at midnight tonight. So stay tuned, but this song is called Body Betrays Me. This heart that keeps me alive is killing me from the inside. It beats and it pumps blood through my lungs, but it keeps me tethered to you, and it stops when you walk in the room. These eyes that make me see, they keep me blinded from reality. Their rods and their cones work fine, but they don't see any of your flaws, and it makes me wish you weren't gone. This mind that thinks and calculates is the one thing I wish that I could erase. Every word that you said is burned in my head. I remember the promises you spoke. I remember the promises you broke.
These feet that walk and dance, they keep me crippled in the past. They travel the world, they spin and they twirl, but they always run back to you, even if I don't want them to. And this body that keeps living is dying to see you again. And this world just keeps on spinning, and I'm tired of playing pretend, 'cause I feel the heartache with every breath that I take. But I'll never let you see how I'm desperate to heal, but I can't help but feel how my body betrays me. I'm desperate to heal, but I can't help but feel how my body betrays me. Thank you. Thank y'all so much.
Gotta love music.
Same.
Don't you just love the
Me
way
too.
it makes you feel? Like, I think ultimately that's why we do it. So is it a calling? Maybe. Is it something I can't help but do? 100%. I'm gonna save this story for after the song, if that's okay with you guys. If I tell you the things beforehand, it kind of gives it all away. I went through my whole closet, found that special something he was always asking me to just put on. Got that sexy shade of lipstick he told me was his favorite. I've been looking forward to day, night, all day long. The doorbell rang and I knew when our eyes met that this would be a night I won't forget. I knew he'd get the door for me, help me climb up in my seat. I knew that there was something on its way. I half expected to see a ring, but instead he told me everything, what for, how long. I even know her name, but I didn't know that he came to pick me up for dinner and a heartbreak. I put on my best smile, 'cause Mama always told me that you never let them see how much it hurts. Inside my heart was shattered, but it didn't really matter. If it took everything I had, I'd have dessert. If I'd had a clue just what he had in mind, I'd ordered all the lobster and the wine. I knew he'd get the door for me, help me climb up in my seat. I knew that there was something on its way. I half expected to see a ring, but instead he told me everything, what for, how long. I even know her name, but I didn't know that he came to pick me up for dinner and a heartbreak. No, I didn't know when he came to pick me up. I didn't know when I climbed up in his truck. I knew he'd get the door for me, help me climb up in my seat. I knew that there was something on its way. I half expected to see a ring, but instead he told me everything, what for, how long. I even know her name, but I didn't know that he came to pick me I went through my whole closet, found that special something he was always asking me to just put on. Thank you so much. That's my latest radio single from my new album called Dinner and Heartbreak. And one of the things I love about that song is what I call the evolution of perspective. And you guys will obviously relate to this. But when I was in my 20s, a breakup song sounded kind of like, how do I live without you?
Right.
I want to know, because life was over.
Yeah.
Right? But a breakup song in my 40s is like, well, you bet I'm having dessert. And can I get 4 lobsters to go and 2 bottles of wine? Because you're paying for this. But it's like the best part about getting older. And as women, a shout out to doing a Texas women's music series. That is so cool. So thank you, Texasmusiccafe, for doing that. Because we women don't always get it the easiest, you know, and we get given such a hard time about getting older and all the things that go along with being a woman. But one of the things I've learned that I appreciate is that the older you get, the more you learn, and you know that life is not over when a breakup is over, and it's just, that means more to me than anything I can say.
I love that.
It's here's to getting older, right?
Older and wiser.
Older and hopefully wiser, yeah, maybe.
Definitely wiser. That I love that title to that song. It's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna do. Let's turn my guitar on. There we go. So this is a song I wrote at the beginning. Remember we were talking about you're a whiskey girl, I'm a tequila girl.
Yeah, of course I do.
So this song is called Where the Whiskey Meets Tequila, and I wanted to kind of write this with the play on words. Like, I'm obviously Hispanic. My husband is straight up country boy, white boy over there. Can I say that? But no, a gringo. And so I wanted to write this about just that love has no boundaries and love knows no borders. And it's called Where the Whiskey Meets Tequila, so it's just kind of a fun song with a little bit of a truth to it and a little bit of fun to it. So it goes like this. She grew up in a small town in the Rio Grande Valley with a little George Jones and a little mariachi. Met a blue-eyed boy at a honky-tonk and nowhere to fall. Love ain't got no borderlines where the wishing pours, where the whiskey meets tequila. You can almost feel the fire. It comes on fast and it goes down slow, like a hang song spinning on a jukebox in an old cantina, where the whiskey meets tequila. Love's a language that don't need translation. Just two thirsty souls trying to quench temptation. The taste of Cuervo on a kiss come away long way. They get lost in each other's arms and the world fades away, where the whiskey meets tequila. You can almost feel the fire. It comes on fast and it goes down slow, like a hang song spinning on a jukebox in an old cantina, where the whiskey meets tequila. Sipping on that 90 proof, the bottle's doing everything it's made to do. Something in her neon eyes, stronger than the liquor that he's on tonight. Where the whiskey meets tequila.
whiskey meets tequila, where the whiskey meets tequila. Thank you.
All right, we're going to try to blaze through so that we can each try to get one more song in. Looking at last round. Okay, great. Well, again, my name is Sarah Johnson, and I'm so happy to be here. Texasmusiccafe, thank you so much for having us. I have to do the obligatory sarahjohnson.music on Instagram if you'd like to follow me and see that new song that's coming out. But this is my cowboy song. Hey little lady, what's your name? I'm a rodeo man looking for fame, but tonight I'm looking at you. I said I'm leaving in the morning. He said, come on, I'll tell you a story in a place where stars outnumber sand. So he took my hand and we went to the river, talked like friends and kissed like lovers, hoping that the sun would never rise. But before we said goodbye, he said, say a little prayer for me while I'm riding those bulls across the country. Never met a girl like you before, but I'm tied to the road like a soldier at war. I'll give you my red bandana to remember that night in Montana. Well, now I'm back in Texas, where it's flat in every direction, thinking of the rodeo man who swept me away. Your bandana around my neck, thinking of the night we first met, sharing our hopes and dreams in the light of the moon. Oh, all too soon it ended, but dusk till dawn, we pretended that forever could start that night. But before we said goodbye, he said, say a little prayer for me while I'm riding those bulls across the country. Never met a girl like you before, but I'm tied to the road like a soldier at war. I'll give you my red bandana to remember that night in Montana. Called me once from Idaho, said the days are fast, but the nights are slow without you, oh, without you. I think about you often, don't think that I've forgotten how you gave this broken man a healing touch. Now I've had too much whiskey, but I wanna know if you miss me, 'cause I've been missing you since last July. But before we said goodbye, I said, I'll say a little prayer for you while you're riding bulls across the red, white, and blue. Never met a guy like you before, who's tied to the road like a soldier at war. I kept your red bandana to remember that night in Montana. Still got your red bandana. Can we go back to Montana? Ooh. Ooh. Thank y'all so much. Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm also going to give you the abridged version of the story behind this song. I wrote the song for my grandmother when she passed away recently, so. I'm staring at this paper, staring into space.
put in a position that I can hardly face. I guess that I could start with the day that you were born. Fill in all the who's and whens, but I know there's so much more. So how do I take the story of your life, fit it all onto a page so we can say goodbye? My words won't do it justice, I'm afraid to even try. How do I tell the story of your life? The day you lost your mama, I always heard it broke your heart. The day my grandpa left you, I know it tore your world apart. But somehow you found the courage, somehow you found the strength to put a smile on your face and carry all the weight. So how do I take the story of your life, fit it all onto a page so we can say goodbye? My words won't do it justice, I'm afraid to even try. How do I tell the story of your life? I can see you in my mama, I see you more inside of me. If you're looking down from heaven, you know I miss you terribly. So how do I take the story of your life, fit it all onto a page so we can say goodbye? I know my words won't do it justice, but I promise that I'll try. How do I tell the story of your life? I'm so grateful that I get to be in the story of your life. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you.
That was so pretty. Well, I think we have time for one more. Is that right?
Just your last one. Yeah.
That's it? I'm the last one. Okay. Well, do y'all want to hear a song about my family, or y'all want to hear, it's called American Dream, or y'all want to hear I Hate the Way I Love Him? American Dream. American Dream. American Dream. Well, you said high note, so I got an upbeat one or a kind of a family song. So let's, you know what? Y'all said American Dream, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, so you know, I'm going to piggyback off the family song, but I think this is I actually did want to do this song, so I'm glad I have time for it, but it is called American Dream, and I think that it's, you know, it can resonate to everyone, really, because we all came here from somewhere, you know, searching for that American dream, and we're so blessed to be from this country. And my grandmother and my dad and my mom, you know, they worked really hard in a little tiny small town of Martindale to kind of, you know, make me who I am. And this kind of just tells their story, and it's a true story. And so this goes out to my grandmother, who's, I'm sure, watching right now. and streaming on YouTube. So hi, Granny. I love you so much. Love you, Mama and Dad. So here we go. This is for them. It's called American Dream.
She was married and working at 14. Was a mother that same year she turned 15. Picking cotton with the baby on her back. And when she get tired, she'd pull her on a sack. She made dresses that were and flower bags. What for her was gold, for others were just rags. Had a bucket full of water for a bath. Then they'd all lay down to sleep in that pine wood shack. They had a love like you never felt it. They had truth, yeah, like you never know. Money was tight, they were free, chasing that American dream. He was 5 years old on the streets of Mexico, selling gum and roadside flowers in Laredo. For a week he'd sleep in the park underneath the tree. He'd come home to his mama with a pound of rice and beans. But he had a love like he never felt it. He had truth, yeah, like he never known. When he was tight, he was free, chasing that American dream. Mexican boy moved his mama to a Texas town. He met the cotton picker's daughter at a church where he'd been found. They got married, had 4 babies of their own, and added on to that power shack that I call home. And we had a love like I never felt it. We had truth, yeah, like you never know. When he was tight, we were free, living that American dream. When he was tight, we're still free, living that American dream.
Thank y'all so much. This has been awesome. Thank you, Texas Music Cafe. Thank y'all so much for having us, girls. Ladies, y'all want to say something? You guys were amazing. Thank y'all. It was so much fun.